cargo.
What's going on, Star Wars Unlimited fans? Welcome back. It's your boy Gudo here from To Base. Today I want to do a quick leader tier list for the new set Ashes of the Empire. It's been a little while since I've been on the channel. Life things happen, and yeah, that pretty much chops that up. But today I've been itching to go ahead and get this out. Usually every set I try to get out a leader tier list. I just think they're fun to do. Let's get right into it. I'm not going to waste any time. Let's change this over. Alrighty, so let's get it. Who is going to go first? I'm just going to pick at random. So we'll start off with Sabine. I think her ability is pretty good. Being able to pretty much give anything shielded. It's not to be frowned upon, but I do think that sometimes if, like, you know, Cad gets to basically turn her ability off, I think it just kind of falls flat a little bit, and also having 5 HP on a leader is not very good. She could just get blue leadered, or just get minus by some card effects. Charged with treason, you know, kind of knocks her out in one hit. I just think, God, I think they really did her wrong compared to the first Sabine leader we had. But there have been a few games I've played against her where I've told myself, this is really annoying. So for that, I'm actually gonna put her in. You put her in B tier. I think she'll end up in B tier. I think somebody will be able to snag like a PQ win with her, or, you know, I don't know, maybe do really well, maybe get a few top 8s, but I just don't think she's going to be like meta defining, you know. So that's where we'll put her in B. Who do we got next? Let's go with the Armor. Armor has been pretty cool to see. I haven't personally played them yet, but yeah, I don't know how many upgrades we have to really make this impactful. It kind of gives you like card advantage because you have a card tucked in the resource row, but also I don't know if it really gives you card advantage, because then you end up resourcing the top of your, you know, top card of your deck. So what if that card is like a top end card? Then you don't have card advantage, you have like card disadvantage. But for now, I think there's been a few games where I've been like, oh wow, she's actually not that bad, like has some gas, but not having access to hero villainy is probably going to end up putting her in the C tier. So we'll keep her there for now. Fennec, haven't played with. Having 4 HP is really bad with no shield. I just don't know what they were thinking with this leader. She's going right to the F tier, which is basically going to be my unplayable tier. And she may be like one of the only leaders in that tier today. The others, I think, have some gas to them. I just think she's not good. Being able to play a unit ready, but you have to exhaust, you know, pay 1, exhaust a friendly unit to play another unit and have it come in ready. You would have to be playing like super high powered units to make this worth it, because like, why are you exhausting another unit? Or maybe you're exhausting a unit that doesn't really matter, doesn't have an attack ability, it has just an effect ability. That way they can still have some relevancy even though you're having to tap them down. I don't know. I just can't see it yet. Someone's got to crack it. Also, no access to hero or villainy there, so just really bad. Really bad. Baylan Skull will go next. I think the ability to buff a unit that is the only unit in the arena, and give it +2/+2, it's so mediocre, especially because you have to pay for it. And like, when do you not want to have multiple units in an arena? Is it like one of those things where if they end up killing one of your units, you can buff that other unit? to make up for them killing the other unit's power. So you're like kind of like you're not losing the value of them killing one of your other units because you can buff one of your others and still get some extra damage. Doesn't seem that good. And testing, I did test with this leader just because I'm a huge villainy freak. I love playing villainy leaders. I just didn't think it was that good. A lot of times I kept asking myself, I'd rather play Aura or even Chancellor Palpatine from set 6, or just any other blue villainy leader. It did not feel impactful. Him coming out on 5 was cool. Is it 5 or 6? I think it's 5. Oh yeah, he comes out on 5. Him coming out on 5 is like the only benefit he has, and even then it didn't feel like enough. So I think I'll put him in the B tier. Maybe C tier. I'll put him in C tier. Let's see, random pick. Next, we've got Bo-Katan. Obviously, for every Mandalorian she's got out, that is one less she has to, I guess, wait to deploy on. Kind of like Avar Kriss in that sense. I think she's okay. There's been a couple games I've actually lost playing against this leader because they just swarm the board and get overwhelming, and then like you're not even like thinking about the leader flip, and then they flip the leader and you're like, oh god, yeah, this is getting out of hand. And of course, like a board wipe will sort of do the trick, but maybe by then you're already dead. So yeah, I think she's better than people are showcasing. I know there's not many like great Mandalorian units. We got a few good ones. We got the legendary Mando unit that's really good, really bad into CAD, but really good into basically everything else that wants to trade on the ground. I'm actually going to put her at B. I think people are underestimating her. I think she's going to be better than unplayable. I think she'll be, honestly, hot take, I think she's going to be more playable than Avar Kriss. I think she'll be more playable than Avar Kriss. That is a super hot take. Let's see what comes of it. Maybe it'll be one of those recorded moments where I say I told you so. Or it'll be one of them where it's like, yeah, buddy, what were you thinking? Next, we got Moff Gideon. Deploys on 8. Any unit in your discard pile get that with a keyword he gets when he deploys. So usually you're a shielded sentinel. That is the most common because literally you could just play a droid, a laser turret, and that you have sentinel unshielded already when you deploy, which is pretty good. If you deploy on a turn, I could just hit a reset button and say board wipe. It's not that good. I know some people have really hyped this up. And his front ability, being able to play units, Imperial units less, like Imperials are not that amazing of units, and playing them less you don't get an extra resource to do anything special. I don't know. I just don't see it, and personally, you have to play a bunch of shitty units for this to be even remotely good, and it's still not that good. So I think he's going to go to C tier. He's that bad to me. I think anyone testing him is... I just don't know. Maybe I don't have the build. Maybe I haven't seen the build. But blue seems to be the best way to go because you can get the droid laser for the exact reason I said earlier. The droid laser turret and all the other keyword units. Those are the only ones that are even remotely worth playing, and they're going to go in Moff Gideon. So he's a C tier to me. Maybe he'll get a top 8 at a PQ. Maybe some genius will build it and make it really good. I don't know. I'm not seeing it. Then we have Admiral Thrawn. A lot of people have him in S or A tier. I am putting him in C tier. His ability is inconsistent. Again, it's that being able to hit the board wipe reset button that makes him just not a great option right now. I think there's the control, sort of like hard control, soft control realm. I think the Dedras, and we'll talk about them soon, but CAD, I think those are going to be the leaders, and probably Talzin still, but I think those will be our villainy control leaders that continue to be playable. I honestly think and I'm not just because I'm a fair-weather Chancellor Palpatine fan, but I think Palp from Secrets is actually better because you can just play a whole field of units after they board wiped. You have more value. You have, extra card in your hand every turn, and like the healing ability on the front side is not consistent at all. Is when you flip, you have a huge demand of having to play Chancellor Palpatine plot unit, or you basically lose, because as a control deck, you're not really building the board much. You're just playing removal, and maybe I'm looking at this at the wrong lens. Maybe blue-green isn't the way to go. Maybe it's blue-red. I don't know. I actually think blue-red would be better. But yeah, not really feeling him. I tested him a little bit. I'm not going to say I tested him a lot. Tested him a little bit and was immediately turned off by it. Yes, when you get his ability going, when he's flipped and you just nuke everything, really cool, into non-control decks. Maybe it's good, but it hasn't been feeling that great, and I'm putting him in C tier. A lot of people getting the disrespect with this tier list. Ahsoka. Now, Ahsoka, I think, is going to be one of the best leaders. If uninterrupted, her deploy is super crazy with the support ability and being able to buff. I'm putting her in A tier. I think she's going to be one of the best leaders. Super underrated right now, I think. When you play and you lose against this deck, you almost say there's literally no way to beat that deck. No matter what Sentinels you play, no matter what removal, they just always have an explosive deploy. And in my testing, she has been very good. Don't be surprised if you see her played a lot. I don't even know the name of this leader, but Grand Admiral Sloan. Is it Sloan? Whatever her name is. She has been okay, like her ability, being able to give the Sentinel ability, and I just don't, I don't know. It feels like you save some damage, but her color palette is something I think was a mistake. I think she should have been in red or something. I don't see a reason why you would play this color over something else that's in villainy green. Maybe there's a way where her ability, is able to really escalate the deck. It hasn't felt that way. And honestly, this is one of the more underplayed leaders I've been seeing around. I just don't think people are high on her right now, and I just don't think the ability, it impacts the board minimally, but like, what if you have no units? Then your leader is shit. Does nothing. So I just don't know. I think she's gonna be an F tier. I think she's unplayable compared to what's out there. I think her ability's cool. I think you can sneak some games. I just don't think this can even compete to like Obi-Wans and Bobas and Landos. Like, I just don't see it with that one. Luke, I'm putting Luke at S. Luke is one of the best leaders. His ability is very good. His deploy is very good. He might actually, maybe he's an A tier. Probably an A tier above Ahsoka. Can I move these around? Yep. He's probably an A tier above Ahsoka. But I do think he can give, Cat a problem. These control decks, he can definitely give him a problem. It'll be interesting to see how people adapt to him. Can he consistently beat decks like Boba? I know a lot of people have compared to him, him and Data Vault to like the Yoda Data Vault list, and no, like the deploy's not even that good. Still not as good as Yoda, because if Luke just gets nuked by a hammerhead or something or a board wipe, his deploy doesn't matter anymore, and then everything is just like Restore 2 is gone. So you really have to win on his flip turn. From testing with him, you have to win on his flip turn pretty much, or basically close out most of the game, or be able to heal back whatever damage your base took most of that game by the end of the game. Or, if you've got no units, you have nothing to restore with, and Luke just gets one-shotted or two, or even like 2-for-1, then he kind of becomes dead. But at least in his colors and the being able to be in Data Vault, you still get access to good stuff cards, so you're still able to play out much. But yeah, I think he's going to be one of the best in this set. Vayne, so I haven't played with him at all. I've played against him a few times. He has been tricky. I actually think he's better than people are letting on to be. Burn damage is really good. I just think his condition is a little tough, so he's going to go in Seer. I'm actually going to put him in front of like Moff Gideon and Thrawn. And Balin. I think he's like right under the armor and weird but somewhat playable, can sneak some wins. And these are all like, having Thrawn down here is going to really fuel some people up and piss people off, but that is generally where he deserves to be. He has not been that good. Shin Hati's okay, probably a good limited leader. I think I'll put her in. I don't know if this is a list for just Premier or Limited, but this is my overall ranking, so this is going to be for both Limited and Premier. I'll put her in, considering Limited as well, I'm going to put her in, I'll put her in C tier. I think she can do some weird stuff, but then with her, it's like, just play Client, have a shield, and do it better, you know? So I don't think like she comes in the game and it's like people are playing her over the Client. I'm assuming it's like a tempo aggro deck. Yeah, nothing really impresses me with Shin Hati. Ezra Bridger, I think I've seen this like space aggro route to take with him. I actually think it's pretty good. But then the question of, do I just play Padme? Does that come up? And then it's like, okay, he goes down to C tier when we talk about that comparison. For this video, we're just doing set 5 stuff, or sorry, we're just doing Ash's stuff. So nothing else. We're not really comparing anywhere else. So I don't know. Advantage tokens, they seem to be okay. I don't know if it's going to be game breaking. If interrupted, then again, Ezra Bridger, just another whatever leader. He has Saboteur, so that kind of gives him a little bit of a buffer, you know, between other like Chewies. Like Chewie doesn't have Sab, and Sentinels kind of get in the way of Chewie. So is this like going to be the new Chewie? I don't know. I'll put him at B tier, and I'll put him above Sabine and Bo. I think he belongs there. He may even be an A tier, but we'll keep him in B. I think he'll be good. I think with upgrades and, you know, a way to really get around the Sentinels is pretty good. So could be a new aggro option instead of Chewie. Mando. So there's like a hard control version of Mando. I don't know if you play him outside of blue. I mean, is there really any world where you do that? This hard control variant seems to be the most popular and honestly most effective. It's kind of snuck wins against my CAD Force blue deck, and I think he'll be a problem. I think he'll be above Ahsoka and below Luke. I think Luke's going to be the better deck in that matchup. Yeah, I think that's where he belongs. Mando's good. He's going to be good. He's an A tier leader. People who are hating on him being so one way with just, you know, relying on aggressive negotiations, they can literally milk out the game so late until they have 1,000,000 cards and literally just kill you in 2 swings. You can't really look past that. The only thing that really hard hates that is hand disruption. And even that's like, you can get rid of 1, maybe 2, but then they'll always have that other one, and yeah, that deck just has a lot of gas, like the new Leia that heals whatever 1,000,000 if they use AN with it. There's definitely legs with Mando, and I don't think you can put him below A tier with some of what he's got available. Are his stats great? No. Ability is amazing. It's meta defining because like take the initiative and draw a card is so crazy. You get to play Colossus for free without losing anything, and it's good. It works. So I'm going to put Mando in A. Palpatine. So Palp could be tricky. I think people are putting him lower than he deserves. Making the tokens and going wide is really his goal, but if you kill all the units and they don't have anything to use that advantage on, he goes way down the list. So I think in a grand scheme, I think he'll be okay in limited. Being able to buff stuff in limited is very good. We've seen that. So I think from a limited standpoint, it probably goes up a little bit. I'm going to put him in B because I think somebody will figure out how to crack him. I'm actually going to put him above Bo-Katan in the B. A lot of people are going to put him a little lower from what I've been seeing, but I think he'll be generally good. Mostly in limited, but Premier, he can probably sneak some wins. I've lost some games against him, but whoa, wasn't expecting that. Mostly in this aggro shell. And then, hey, if you get the 7 resources, you have a leader that flips and does an extra 4. I don't think you're ever using his flip attack ability. Hopefully you've already won the game by then. But yeah, cool stuff. I love Palp, so I'm always going to rank him a little higher than most, just because I love his character. And we've got the 3 of which I personally think are the best leaders in the game. So I'm going to put Cad up in S. Cad is Cad. He's doing damage for free. He's the best leader in the set. That is undeniable. Some people are arguing Mando's better than him. I just think Cad's better. Red blue villainy is going to be very good. Probably the most prominent played color type in the meta. That's my prediction. Even with the Landos existing, the auras, all the stuff that was meta, top decks before, I think Cad's going to come in and just kind of say, I'm the new best leader. Control's back, and they got Pre-Vizsla. We got Ninth Sister. I think it's Ninth Sister. Discarding and doing overwhelming barrage type, effect is really good. He's been amazing in testing. I've got over 200 games with him already in all kinds of blue, and mostly in blue, some in yellow, a couple in green, but mostly blue. He's very good. He's going to be the best. He's meta defining. He will be one of the best leaders, most played leaders in the meta without a question. So he's going to be the top. Greef has been pretty good. I think he probably goes in S tier. I think he's going to make more of an impact than Luke will and all these leaders below. Probably, being able to buff something when you play it is just amazing. There's little to no conditions with this. There's only upside with this leader. 4/7 on 6 is fine. Yeah, I think he's going to be great. And I saved Grogu for last because I am going to put him. I'm going to put him in A tier above Luke. There is something here. You don't just print a leader with no front text without being good. I think people are purposefully rating this guy lower than he needs to be. I think he's better than all the leaders listed below him on this tier list. Super hot take. But having personal interactions with this deck, playing against it, I've said, wow, this deck is a problem. Being able to deploy a little guy when you play units is better than you think. And not because we can just play plot cards over and over. I actually think plot isn't the reason, but there are other reasons. Weird interactions in the game that aren't supposed to happen. Grogu, I feel like brings to the table. I think he's just fun. Also underestimated, and he kind of has this sneaky way of being good. And sneaking games, mostly in the color blue. Yeah, I just think Grogu is going to be low-key good. I don't have statistical reasons as to why, but I will tell you, I genuinely think he's going to be one of the best leaders in the set. And I guess we'll see why. We'll see if that is the case. You know, when we start seeing premier tournaments pop up, PQs, all that. We got a lot in Florida coming up. 2 to Base, we have a 2 to Base charity event that'll be happening in August. So that is going to be happening. The official date still ironing out, but if you're in Florida, August, we'll see a set 8 2 to Base event. Is going to be a premier event focused around the charity and, you know, giving back to those who really need it, and spreading the love of the game. That's what we love to do here at 2 to Base, and we're going to keep doing it. But yeah, appreciate you stopping by. Thanks for watching this tier list video. I know it's kind of blitzed and sort of like I kind of threw this together out of nowhere. I don't have a lot of data behind all this, but this is really what I feel is going to end up. You know, maybe Mando goes above Grogu and Luke, but I have a weird feeling, you know, because I had this feeling with Jango from what was it, Twilight? Or I don't remember. I think it was Twilight when Jango came out. I remember saying that Jango was going to be really good, and a lot of people were kind of like not on that side. Not everybody, but I remember seeing some murmurs in the Discord of like, he's all right. Yeah, I think he'll be good. So, just my hot take. We'll see if I'm right or wrong. I don't know. I just had this weird feeling about Grogu. Mysterious. All right, you guys. Hey, thanks for checking out the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, feel free to like, subscribe if you enjoy the content. I haven't been putting much of it out, but when I do, it's enjoyable. And I think more than videos, you'll probably see a lot of streams. I think tonight I plan on doing a stream. If I'm able to. But yeah, no, I appreciate you guys coming by, and yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Peace.